If your motorcycle engine is not really looking how it used to be, or even other motorsport engine really isn't looking how it used to be, then you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to show you how to bring back the life into your old or relatively new motorcycle engine. So people of YouTube, bike builders, cafe racer enthusiasts, engineering community, welcome. Just to give you a little preview of what you're going to get, that's the old engine. It's gross, grimy, nasty. This is the clean side. It's beautiful, fresh, reflective. And there's the side-by-side. It's quite telling. And all of this is very inexpensive. I'm going to get right back down into the work like I usually do. The first thing that you need are just some paper towels and some cloth towels. Make your life kind of easy. Then you need a good quality degreaser. I'm using a couple here just for the heck of it. You only need to pick one, but get a heavy-duty degreaser. Then you'll need a brush. Don't get a hard metal brush that'll scratch your block up. I'm using this plastic brush. You can use a toothbrush or a brass brush or whatever you have. Then you need a Dremel with brass bits on the end. This is the brand I have. And right next to it was a package of these bits, and they work good for me. So yes, get those, and it'll be wonderful. Grab some safety glasses, just because we prioritize safety here. And last but not least, you need some rubbing compound. I'm using turtle wax, and it's a cold night in the garage here in Indiana, so I have it up on the heater because it's a block right now. You can't really spread it. So the very first thing you got to do is clean up your workspace. I took the tank off, and if you have a Honda CB750 like mine, I'm not sure, it's too different for a lot of these motorcycles. All I did was I closed the petcock and unplugged the tube that went from the petcock to the fuel filter, and plugged it up with some paper towel on my finger, and put it there. So yep, there that is. And then I took off the seat just to give myself more elbow room. So once that's done, I think I'll unplug these spark plug wires too, just so I can have this free range of motion. And yeah, I'm doing this by side, as I showed you the last one. Get these suckers out of the way, and there we go. Now you have yourself a nice open surface to work with. And while we're right here, let's give myself a little plug. I just finished recording a video on how to install aftermarket LED turn signals. And it's a banger of a video, as the YouTubers say. It's a banger. So if it's up by the time you see this, which it should be, go ahead and check it out. Learn about, the ins and outs of your electrical system. But anyway, the first thing you got to do with this is get off the surface grossness. And I don't even know when the last time this engine's been cleaned. I mean, look at it. It's filthy. It's disgusting. So let's see. Where should we focus first? How about right here, the money shot? We'll go right there. So just give it a lot of spray. You can't give it enough of this degreaser. Then just give it a little bit. Let it sit. Let it really work in there. Let me grab a few things that I need. And since there's these, ridges and whatnot, I'm just gonna brush its teeth for a little bit. And already you can see this nastiness, getting into the degreaser and all that. So always brush in circles, kids. So I'm gonna do that for like 2 minutes and then hit it again with degreaser and then scrub it some more. So be right back. All right, and now that it's a clean and dry surface, we can start putting on some of this rubbing compound here. So let's get a nice little bit. It's still a little tough, but that's all right. And you know what? I'm pretty new to using this stuff, so this is just how I do it. I'm not an expert. I've not been doing this for 50 years and know the ins and outs and tips and tricks of using rubbing compound, but yeah, this is just what I did, and I mean, it seems to have worked, so I'm just showing you what I did. That's plain and simple. So yeah, we're just gonna put it on the top here, and yeah, that looks pretty good. It's a decent amount, right? So we're just gonna do the top here, and when you're doing this at home, I would also just focus on little spaces. I don't know. I just keep that's how I did it. You can do the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe there's no harms in letting it dry. I really don't know. So I'm just gonna say, do it in sections, so you guys can't get mad at me. All right, so once that's nice and rubbed, when the compound is rubbed on, go ahead and get your Dremel here. Now, this is where you need the discretion, because first and foremost, you need the safety, just in case these brass bits start flying at your eyes. The first time I did this, I made a lot of mistakes. I pressed quite hard when I was going at this, and that used to be a wheel. So all those brass bits were flying in my eyes. It was terrible. It was terrible. And yeah, don't be me. Don't make this mistake. So let's just go with this wheel here. Or even one of these. I mean, it just depends on where you're doing. I'd probably use the wheel on these flat surfaces, and honestly, maybe this cone would be kind of useful up in here. So actually, let me go change this into the Dremel real quick. All right, and it's in. And something really nice about this Dremel is it's super simple to use. You just hold the clutch button or whatever it's called, and you unscrew it, and then you throw in the new one, and voila, there you go. So I'm running it at about 2,500 RPMs, maybe close to 3. So yeah, and just turn it on here and let the brush do the work. Don't do what I did and press on it. So you just let the brush work on the compound. You know, you see that nasty dirt. Really is pretty gross. I didn't ask the seller last time he washed it when I bought this from him, but all I know is it hadn't ran in a while when I bought it, so yeah. And this brush is super nice because it's just getting in those, getting in the numbers like nothing. So yeah, you just do this for a little bit until all the rubbing compound's gone, and yeah. Let me do this real quick. Okay, so I used 2 hands and kind of went at this, and I just went in circles and back and forth and whatnot. And yeah, it's kind of looking dull, and that's my goal. So now I just take a rag and give it a little bit of wipes. And already it's starting to look quite nice. Much better than it did earlier. And then I can kind of go at this a couple more times with the rubbing compound, and you know, sometimes I even give it a spritz of degreaser, especially if the compound gets hard. it really helps if you just give it a little bit of degreaser and rub against it. So yeah, this is just a thing where you're gonna get the results comparative to how much work you put in it. And man, just look at that, gross. So the more times you go at it, the better it's gonna look, and the more times you rub it and scrub it, and love and care, the results will represent, and eventually it'll look like that. That took me about a night to get pretty much the whole side over there finished. So I'm gonna jump cut and hit this a couple more times, the rubbing compound, throw some degreaser on there, give it some elbow grease with my full attention in both hands, and I'll come back to you to show you some good old hard work, just working in sections, spray with the degreaser, scrub the degreaser with the brush, wipe it off, rub some rubbing compound in there, hit it with the Dremel, rinse and repeat. So I'll be right back. So it's been an hour and a half. I've just been going at my steps over and over and over again, and it's looking pretty nice. There's some things you really just cannot get off, and you know what, as I forgot who said it, but don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. And you know what? It's turning out pretty nice, especially down here. I got all that cleaned up and it's looking pretty nice. And I just started doing it down here, and you can kind of see, where I have and have not done. So this is gonna clean up really nicely, all that. So yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. It's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it, and now you know how to do it for yourself, and it really doesn't cost that much money. It's just a lot of time and a lot of patience and repetition. So I hope you enjoyed learning maybe something new or a couple of tips or whatnot. So yeah, clean your bikes, folks.